Yeah, and that's a thing that happens in a lot of places. You don't always replace a legend with a legend. Florida State got very lucky with Jimbo Fisher winning them a national championship after Bobby Bowden, but obviously the end of that tenure did not go well, and the beginning of Willie Taggart's does not look to be going swimmingly either, but that makes me happy. Same thing with Florida following Steve Spurrier in his legendary career. Obviously, there was a couple bad coaches. They got Urban Meyer, he did well, and then a couple other bad coaches and things like that. But in terms of Miami, I think that there was just there has been a lot of continuity as the key component to some of these most of the coaching hires, I'll say. Larry Coker was on staff with Butch Davis. Then he took over and, was on autopilot when won, the best college team in the history of college football. To the 2001 Miami Hurricanes won the national championship. After him was Randy Shannon, who was on staff as defensive coordinator, and that was continuity from there. After that, we went outside to Al Golden. That didn't work. So then you go and you bring in somebody who had been doing the job at Georgia for 15 years, Mark Richt. He comes down. He's a little bit older, though, instead of, he's not even as old as Larry Coker. I mean, he was old when he got the job, but that didn't work out. And then, you're on to Manny Diaz. Manny Diaz, he brings a young energy, and Miami's always been a 5-and-out program when it's good. You're here for 5 years, you probably win a national championship, and you leave out. The only one who really didn't do that was Butch Davis, because he left before the national championship to take his dream job, or a dream job, in the NFL. So do I think that Manny Diaz is the guy? I think that's yet to be seen, but I do like what he's doing. I do like the direction of the program. I think that there's some things on the performance that can be shored up, but if I'm looking into my crystal ball, I think that, moving forward in the next couple of years, Miami will continue to raise the quality of player on their roster, will continue to raise their level of play, and be in the conversation for an ACC championship against Clemson, which, is they're the big bad bullies on the block. And you got to find a way to, clear that hurdle. So it will take a yeoman's effort to be able to do that. But hopefully, under Manny Diaz's direction in the next couple of years, Miami can. There was a question about Jonathan Garvin. Jonathan Garvin is a very, very good player. Jonathan Garvin is going to be a very, very good player. Jonathan Garvin is one of the foundations of Miami's defense. And yeah, I think that, there are some teams, his statistics do not look the same this year as they had previously. I.e., the number of tackles is down. He only has 9 through 3 games. If we look at tackles for loss, he only has 1 tackle for loss, 2 hurries, no sacks. So yeah, the raw numbers are a little bit different. But that's, when you don't have a Gerald Wills III and you don't have a Joe Jackson being schemed for as at the top of the chain of defense, where you're saying, okay, John Garvin is like our number 3 or 4 priority, so we're going to maybe let him do what he does. Instead of that, now you're number 1. And, they're leaving backs into chip. They're leaving tight ends into chip. And a lot of times, these games, most of these teams have gone to a quick passing game. There have been very few times that they've really sat there and thrown deep, and it's unfortunately in those times he hasn't gotten there. But no, Jonathan Garvin, he still plays the run very well. He still is a very good pass rusher. He's still a guy who could be a 3 and done, after this season. So I know that the numbers aren't exactly what people might want, but he's still an integral part to the defense. So yeah, I fully expect him to be that. And 97 is going to make plays. So I'm not worried about it.